asked him to examine why the people of St. Kitts and Nevis stood up against the big British Empire without fear. Because they suspected if such a small country, with a small number of people relatively compared to India and other countries that were occupied by the British, could stand up, what then can happen in these other territories? And what they found is that in St. Kitts, the conditions of the people were some of the worst conditions under the British Empire found anywhere in the world. Whether you had gone to Africa, the Far East, in the Caribbean, or in other countries. The worst situation. And so they started to put a number of recommendations to empower people. However, the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party took it upon itself to struggle and to fight for people's empowerment. Back then, you could not vote. People were denied the right to vote. That is how oppressed our people were. And in 1952, we got what you call adult suffrage, which was the right to vote. They denied the people to vote because they know that there is power in the vote. And if you were to have an election, not one of them would be elected. And so they deprived the people. But the Labour Party ran in 1952 and got into the assembly. But the struggle did not stop there. We continued to struggle until we came to statehood under the same St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Back then, it was St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla Labour Party. And it was headed by none other than a St. Paulian, our first national hero, Sir Robert Llewellyn Bratcher. Let's remember him. What we are doing here today is because of the work and foundation that he set for us. It was the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party who sought ways to empower our people. And I would say today, as Minister Clark would have said, that one of the best ways, or one of the better ways rather, to empower people is through land ownership. And that is why they denied our people access to land. But the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party did not stop there. When they would not give us the land that we worked so hard on, the land that we lived on, the land that we deserve, Robert Bratcher said enough was enough, and he took the land. They call him all sorts of names. They say he was a communist. He's a socialist. He racist. I want to invoke these terms because that is what he went through. To the point where, they wanted to assassinate him in 1967. But he was determined to challenge the British Empire. And when they wouldn't give the people the land that they deserved, he took the land from them under much pressure. So what we are doing here today, let us remember him. Let us remember his courage, his bravery is right here he come from. And he intended that the people of St. Kitts and Nevis must become landowners. Back then, Anguilla as well. But we know the history of that. And so the land was eventually paid for in the 1980s, but the land was taken since before that. The piece of land that he did not take was the Southeast Peninsula. But the rest of the sugar land, he took most of it except for one or two estates. Then we come to 1995. Because, there was a period where you did not even own land even during the years of independence. And in 1995, with the Douglas-led administration, the Labour Party administration, under that administration, we started to see more revolutionary actions around giving our people access to land. Because it had started since in 1932. The blueprint was written. All that we need to do in modern days to make sure that the blueprint is respected and completed. And so the village freehold was implemented. And other, I would say, innovative policies to ensure that people could own land. And so you started to see houses being built, people owning land. And when people began to own land, people become empowered for the same reasons that Dr. Clark said. When you have land, you could go to a bank. When you have land, you could walk in style. because you own the land. When you got land, you got power. And when you got land, you got wealth or the opportunity to build wealth. When you got land, you can pass it on to your children to empower them for the next generation. These are the benefits of land, and that is why they denied us land for so long. And we know thousands of people got access to lands. And as a result of that, the people were empowered. From St. Paul's to Tongue, as we used to say. Tongue to St. Paul's. Monkey Hill included. They call it the Great State now. And over here is the Republic. So what we are doing here today is an extension of what started since 1932. How can we continue to empower our people? And we recognize in some of these villages, and it just so happened these villages happen to be St. Peter's, St. Paul's, and village, or close to the village, Lagreed. And they have a peculiar type of characteristic and history, which I would not get into. And we decided that the people must get their land. And so we began to think, how are we going to achieve this? From day one, we know it would not be easy. Because in Lagreed, and truth be told, because the history is real, they tried to do it because we had spoken about it, but they gave the people fake documentation. Imagine you're going to stand up in a line taking a big picture only to find out that your documentation was fake and people were using you, playing with you, and abusing you. We decided that that cannot happen under this administration. So yes, it took a little bit longer. But it took a little bit longer because we had to get it right. We ain't going to get false documentation to our people. It got to be right. And so we decided a number of things that we're going to give the people the land, this land. We're going to do all the legal work for you. So you ain't got to show up any other place except the lands office to say who you are, and they would come to really confirm that you are who you say you are and you live where you say you live. That's all the information we needed. And an ID to say, this is the right person. And we did all the work for you, including paying for your legal fees. Your legal fees are paid. All of those things are paid. And so therefore, you have a piece of land that is worth thousands of dollars and very little contribution, which is not prohibitory. And so we decided we were going to do it, and we started the work. And that is why I want to thank the Ministry of Sustainable Development and Lands. It was a lot of work. A tremendous amount of energy had to be put into it. I wish I could have called all of their names, because I know they had to come here, go to Lagreed, go to Upper Monkey Hill, meet families, interview people, verify, take to the legal department, do surveys, bring the people, and you had the surveyors thrown through the village and all sorts of things. It was not easy. And we took on that, ensuring that you would not have to deal with it. And so that work has come to an end. And at the end of that work, we can say to the people of Amsterdam that the land now is yours. It is only a Labour government that has ever done anything like this. They could never do it because they were never interested in empowering the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Never interested in empowering the people of St. Paul's. Never interested in empowering the people of Upper Monkey Hill. Never interested in empowering the people of Lagreed. Never interested in empowering the ordinary people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I want to really thank the founders of this party who set the blueprint, to thank all the leaders and the supporters over all the years to make sure that we continue to press on to lift the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. And today, as I wrap up, I gave you a history of where we have come from and why we are here. We have explained to you the empowerment that you have now received as land owners. And we feel extremely proud to have been part of that process. So I said to you, landowners, you are now in a different category. Your life is changed whether you notice it or not. We are here to continue to work for you and to empower you. May your life see a difference with this empowerment. May it empower you, your families, and your community. And I will always say, and will always say, long live the organization that delivers to the people. Long live the St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party. Thank you. God bless you. And it was a pleasure being here. Take care.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prime Minister. And in an effort to beat the darkness, we're going to proceed very quickly. And I'm going to call on Permanent Secretary, Ms. Chevelita Shesdo Tyson, to distribute the title. The reason why we are here is upon us now. Yes. Welcome up, please.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm putting on my glasses. It's a little dark. Cabinet members, all the cabinet, I acknowledge you, Prime Minister. And of course, my boss. I can't not welcome my boss. I cannot say hello to my boss. I have to keep my job. Dr. Clark. Now, as the PS of this ministry, let me say that land ownership brings a bundle of rights. It brings stability, it brings personal security, and it is money in the bank. And therefore, what you are going to get in a minute is your land. And it is free. Turn to your neighbor and say, it is free. Free, free, free. I don't think that we emphasize it enough. You are not paying for this land. It is free. The government is giving it to you absolutely free. Prime Minister, you forgot to show them their legal document. Bring one, let me show them what they're getting. I did not print this on my computer. So it's not my document. This is what you are getting. Your legal document. And you see this stamp? That's the governor. I did not print it on my computer. So it's your legal documents. So the first thing I want to mention is that the land is free. Secondly, the ministry is fulfilling the mandate of the cabinet. I did not get up one morning and say, let me go and give out St. Paul's land. The cabinet told me to do it. So I'm doing it under the mandate of the cabinet, which is the St. Kitts Nevis Labour government. Now, thirdly, when you get your paper this afternoon, you are a landowner. And when you become a landowner, it means you will pay a tax. That's right. That's what I want to hear. It's how we do it. Yes. All landowners in the Federation pay a tax. And for you, I'm going to mention something because I didn't hear any of the two ministers say it. I'm going to say it, yes. We made a special arrangement with Inland Revenue. And so your transfer tax, we are allowing you a whole year to pay it. So you don't have to go to the bank tomorrow and take off all your money to go to Inland Revenue. You have the whole year. You pay piece and piece and piece until you're done. And it's a very small amount. It's a giveaway. Yes, the minister watching me like, what? You give it away? Yes, I'm giving it away. Yes, that's what the government told me to do. So, With that being said, I also must mention a fourth thing. Now, just in case there's any problem, because a number of persons for the last couple of weeks, honestly, my office has been really, really busy. Everybody's coming, everybody's calling, all sorts of questions. Could I add my mother? Could I add my son? Could I add your daughter? And I told everybody, let me finish the process and then we will deal with that afterwards. And so now that the process is over and you're going to get your certificates, you can come to me any Thursday afternoon. I am there, the minister is there with me most of the Thursday afternoons. After 1:30, we are open to the public. Anybody who has a land matter, you come to the ministry and we do our very best to assist you. You don't need an appointment. So those of you who want to add your mother, your father, your dog, and your cat, and your brother and your sister and anybody else, your children, come to see me. Or suppose you realize the name did not have an E or, we made a little error. We will fix those little things. Are you understanding me? Yes, human error. Okay, so with that being said, in my capacity as permanent secretary of the Ministry of Sustainable Development, I now distribute these lands in New Amsterdam to the people of New Amsterdam on behalf of the government. John, come call the names. When you hear your names, let's go. You will come to the front. I will give the certificates to my minister. She will give it to the Prime Minister. And so you will go to the Prime Minister to receive your certificate. Okay? So from me, the ministry, to the minister, the people, and to the Prime Minister. Ready? Let's go.
As we used to say in school, shake with your right and receive with your left. First person up, the captain of the St. Paul's football team, Mr. Omax Francis. Joshua Robin. The man they call Gatlin, Mr. Javon Alford. He's followed by Azai, the man Javon Williams. Wait a second. Yes. Now we have the jellyman, Mr. Trevor Francis. Come forward. Yes. Mr. Viakati. Yes. Sorry. Welcome, Johnny. And the man who has been so helpful in my many trips to Amsterdam to try to get these names and everything in order, man we call Azar, Marvin, Jeremy. Baggy, where are you? Mr. Staneth Weeks. This one has two very popular nicknames. I'm not going to call the second one. I'm just going to call the one that says Camby. I'm not going to call the one that Mr. Paul calls him. This evening, this gentleman would say a word of thanks on behalf of all the residents of New Amsterdam. He says to make an omelette, you have to break an egg, a couple eggs. Tristan Mills, come forward, the cock. Nadi, where are you? Mr. Quinton Buchanan, come forward. Mr. Kelvis Phipps, I don't think I've seen Kelvis is here. I can't recall seeing him. Oh, he's coming. All right. Always quiet and on the side. Yes. Jerry, Mr. Jerrison Brown. Is Jerry here? I can't recall seeing him. Where's Jerry? Could we call maybe Marcus to come back and collect on behalf of your brother? His nephew, sorry. Yeah. Receiving on behalf of his dad, who unfortunately has passed away, we call on Mr. Ryan, Richard Ryan. The man they call Taco. Is a judge. Yes, no, the man they call Wild. Mr. Kennedy Grandson. The man who dealing with the bakes for the after ceremony. I hope he's here and not still busy doing bakes. All right. Is Jovan Bennett, small axe, but his brother would accept on his behalf. Mr. Tariq Kati. Collecting on behalf of a significant other, we call on Miss Maurisa Keynes. I also want to just, before I call on the next persons to come, just to acknowledge Mr. and Mrs. Maynard, whose son Elvis resided at Amsterdam, but unfortunately passed away. And now we call on his children, Darvancia Connor and Darlon Connor, to receive. Next man up is Mr. Maccabee, Alfalfa Francis. Mr. Tijan Cathy, Mary gone off again. Tijan. Tete, you're up next. Mr. Everton Hendricks. Page in Tete. And then we have Mr. Vernel Quassman. Come forward. Last, but by no means least, our 25th recipient, Miss Ruth Watley and her daughter, Cynthia Benjamin. Thank you very much. Back to Permanent Secretary.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you see the work that went into this? Yes. When they're talking, we work in Sunday to Sunday. For the last 7 Sundays, consecutively, we've had to be out there. We had to know who's sick, who dead, who... You understand? It's the work. So, congratulations. You are now the newest landowners in St. Kitts. Congratulations to the residents of New Amsterdam. Ladies and gentlemen, the hour is well spent. I want to thank my team. You see them around in their blue. They are my support. I don't do the work on my own. Director Tuckett, where are you? He's my man. Yes, see me behind there? Yes. My man of work. Let me make sure I clarify. He's too close to somebody else standing there, so let me make sure I clarify it. So, thank you very much to my team. I always give the praise to my team. Come forward, let people see you. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock, Sunday afternoon, all hours. We are out there. Come forward, Ministry of Sustainability. Team, where you? Come, everybody, all of my workers. It's your moment. Yes, I think I have the best team in government. I always say that. Aixa, my surveyor. Is Vassal here, my other surveyor? I have my co-worker. Yes, come forward. This is my team. This is the force behind the success. This is my team. Give them a round of applause. Today, we empowered 25 families, 23 men, 2 women. Thank you to everyone who supported us. Thank you for the legal people, the legal team, AG, everybody. Thank you for your support. We are going to invite, I'm going to put somebody on the spot. Who is the person? Tristan, come. Come, Tristan. We like to hear from the people. You don't want to just always hear from us.
Yes,
Let's hear how Tristan feels about this moment.
Good evening. My name is Tristan Mills. Everybody know me as CAC. Yeah, so, give thanks to the Minister and the Prime Minister. Give thanks to Joy Clark to making everything possible. Yeah, this is, very good thing. You can't hear. If I start to talk now, I don't see I talk too hard. Yeah, but I just want to say, okay, since I could not hear, big up the Prime Minister himself, Dr. Terence Joe. Give thanks to Joy Clark for making everything possible. Mr. Gums, Mr. Calmy Sleeping Tiger, Jeffrey Hanley, my partner from Sunny Point, Without you all, this couldn't be possible. So, give thanks and appreciate it, Coming from me, Yes, I. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know.
Okay, thank you everybody for being here. We have a little refreshment, so please, we're going to have a group photo as well. So we would like all the recipients just come to the front. I hope this is the best location. Okay, I've been instructed on the side. Take some photo on the side, and then we have I think we have 5 fish and bakes. Yes. So we hang around a bit, okay, from small acts. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Go home safely. God be with us all. God bless our country.